And I'm going to announce George Akume as SGF.
Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadleja, a former deputy governor of Jigawa State, is the new deputy chief of staff. Now, President Bola Tinubu is currently meeting with APC governors at the State House in Abuja. This is the first formal meeting between the president and members of the Progressives Governors Forum. More details of the indoor meeting will come your way subsequently. Now, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has finally dispelled rumors that he has indicated interest to run again for the position in the 10th Assembly. Senator Lawan told correspondents at the State House Abuja that his major concern now is mentorship of the new national lawmakers and ensuring that right personalities emerge as leaders of the next Assembly.
But the truth is I've never indicated an interest to run. But I have a responsibility to the Senate, to the National Assembly, having been in the National Assembly for almost 24 years now. And when we have about 70% of our members of the National Assembly, especially in the Senate, who are new, those of us that have been there longer, owe everybody that responsibility to at least help in mentoring those who are new, even if we have no presiding officer or principal officer position. And I don't really wish to be one. I've played my part, and I'm happy that we have played our part. We have made our impact, very positive impact. Well, of course, we had our shortcomings, but I can hold my head high on behalf of all my colleagues in the Senate and indeed in the National Assembly, that this National Assembly has helped in national development in no means major, because we have succeeded in getting very critical and crucial legislations passed and assented to by the former president.
The All Progressives Congress support groups have pledged to remain active as agents and ambassadors of the current administration. The groups, during their post-inauguration engagement, said Nigeria is again in safe hands for more prosperity. Salihu Gwanara brings us the details.
The successful inauguration of Bola Tinubu as the 16th president of Nigeria is a dream come true to many people, particularly those that gave him the mandate through the ballot. But beyond the celebrations, the supporters of APC, both at home and in the diaspora, agreed that the policy statements of the administration from takeoff are in order.
That Mr. President is giving his full backing to the complete removal of fuel subsidy, and we totally support his stance as a movement. Well, Nigerian will express short-time pain. We believe that the long-time benefits are too juicy for us to ignore.
We have supported Ashwani Bola Tinubu 2023, but it doesn't actually stop that. We have more. Yes, it's very difficult to win. It was a tough battle, but we won that election. Now, we're going to have to redouble efforts to ensure that he succeeds as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This is going to be a new Nigeria, the Nigeria we've been looking for, hoping for. I think the time is now.
As progressive agents of the Renewed Hope agenda, they pledged to remain active in lubricating the wheel towards a smooth democratic journey. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Now, following the sudden situation where petroleum products marketers resorted to hoarding, inducing scarcity and hike in the price of PMS, the Cross River State Governor, Senator Basio too, has inaugurated an 11-man task force with a mandate to monitor activities of fuel stations and restore normalcy. This was at the Dan Achibong Governor's Lodge in Calabar. Paul Abel completes the reports.
In the past 2 days, it has been a difficult task to get fuel, as many stations are either not dispensing or sell above approved pump price. It is against this backdrop that Cross River State Governor is charging this newly inaugurated task force to ensure they carry out their mandate without fear of favor and seal up stations selling at arbitrary pump prices.
It is very harsh and not good at all for our dealers to then immediately lift up the prices of this product, because it's going to bring a lot of hardship to our people, both in terms of mobility, moving from one point to the other, and then even moving foodstuffs. We want you to do your job without any fear or favor. Don't fail to seal up any station that does arbitrary or brings arbitrariness in terms of pricing.
The mandate is clear and the message is clear to the marketers. The marketers, to maintain status quo, they should not increase their price, they should not hoard petroleum product. At the same time, they should not divert. The mandate extends as clearing the trucks off the road.
The task force, the governor maintained, is expected to stabilize the marketing of petroleum products in line with the approved pump price. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The General Assembly of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, is urging the federal government to engage stakeholders on the rationale behind the removal of subsidy and to put in place palliative measures to cushion the effects on citizens. This was part of the deliberations at the General Assembly of the Council in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
There are representatives of the 18 registered political parties in Nigeria. As a partner in progress, IPAC in its last General Assembly of May 17, 2023, approved the constitution of a technical committee to set an agenda for the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration in order to assist in managing some challenges confronting the nation. IPAC Chairman Yabagi Sani explained that the council will make public its robust agenda for the new administration. On the issue of subsidy, government is advised to set up a forensic inquiry on the subsidy regime to unravel the secrecy and obvious perception of large-scale corruption in the sector, Yabagi emphasized.
In this scenario, the removal of subsidy in a product as central as petrol will no doubt increase the cost of goods and services and further worsen the living conditions of Nigerians. Government should also address the issue of oil theft, metering of the sector infrastructure, while pursuing fiscal policy measures to progressively manage the economic interventions.
Council called for the understanding of Nigerians while government intensifies efforts towards putting in place requisite palliative measures to cushion the effects of the new subsidy regime. IPAC also observed a minute silence in honor of the deceased founder of Dar Communications, Raymond Dupesi, with prayer for the repose of his soul. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The removal of petroleum subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is bringing into effect one of the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act and translating to total deregulation of the downstream subsector. The Group Chief Executive Officer, NNPC Limited, Mele Kolokari, who made this assertion on NTA News, also noted that market dynamics will continue to unveil the benefits of the deregulation. Lydia Sampson brings us the experts.
With petroleum subsidy first projected to end in February 2022 and then extended to mid-2023, the NNPC Limited had continued subsidizing every litre at the rate of 250 naira, accumulating to 400 billion in a month.
Subsidy costs this country average of 400 billion naira every month in the current dispensation of pricing. That means that, every litre you buy is subsidized by at least 250 to 300 naira on every litre. This is clearly unsustainable, and because it is unsustainable, we have gotten to a point today where we cannot just afford it anymore.
A situation, Mele Kolokari says, was clearly unsustainable.
Once this subsidy regime becomes established, others are able to bring in petroleum product into the country. By law, we cannot actually continue to be the sole importer of petroleum product because you are only limited by the anti-competition law to 30% of every market that you do. So you don't create any monopoly. And naturally, NNPC will exit this space and it will continue to be a supplier of rice. So yes, we agree by law, I will do this, but you see more players in the market.
He reiterates that the NNPC Limited is a private company expected to declare dividends to its teeming shareholders and can't continue to give what it doesn't have. He says though petroleum is seen as an international product, demand and supply dynamics will eventually play out as market forces continue to ensure competition, efficiency and stability across the value chains. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And away from the subsidy removal, Nigeria's diversity and fault lines should not be weaponized for political gratification, but managed to engender growth and national development. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria who gave this position urged politicians to rise above partisan politics to become statesmen and women who think of the next generation rather than the next election. Again, Lydia Samson brings us the story.
In social life, Nigerians across various strata of society relate peacefully irrespective of their political leanings, ethnicity and religious views. Ironically, fault lines are often amplified during elections, leading to division and post-election trauma. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria notes that harnessing the olive branch extended by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a first step towards healing and reconciliation from post-election trauma.
I think when you have an election that produced a fairly acceptable leader, there's not going to be much, bitterness, opposition, or grievances. Because as you could see now, people are already engaged in what is this government bringing to us.
A nation cannot heal except it begins to believe in truth. And like one of our former leaders from northern Nigeria say, truth is an open wound. Only conscience can heal. When we say, let's get over it without telling ourselves the truth, we aren't going to heal.
They acknowledge that upholding the rule of law as enshrined in the Constitution and propagation of messages of unity will help in the healing of aggrieved Nigerians post-election. They advocated all-inclusive engagements between winners and losers of the last general elections for a seamless governance by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Unless you make all Nigerians feel that they belong, all of them, reintegrate them, integrate them. And of course, attitude here also is crucial. Your attitude, they say, determines your altitude. If you have a very negative attitude, no matter what, you cannot be integrated. Most things, they begin with the mind.
Why a lot of youth, especially across the social media spectrum, believed that it is only the manner in which all the candidates that they voted for that were going to emerge victorious. The Nigerian state, to properly groom its young people to have, a decent and honest understanding of, what the character Nigeria is.
In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
It's now time to join Adeola in our Lagos Network Center for more reports on Nationwide. It's over to you, Deola.
With the implementation of the new pump price of petrol, long queues of vehicles and filling stations in Lagos are gradually disappearing as more filling stations are dispensing the commodity to customers. Amaka Owo reports that some Nigerians are appealing for palliative measures to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal.
Immediately the removal of subsidy on petrol was announced, it became a Herculean task getting petrol, with some filling stations allegedly indulging in sharp practices. The situation is, however, different now, with the hitherto long queues gradually easing out. NNPC filling stations selling petrol at 488 naira, which is the list price, are the only filling stations with minimal queues around the Ikoyi axis. Some motorists say, while removal of subsidy is long overdue, government should tackle inflation to mitigate the impact on Nigerians.
We thank God now that we are seeing the fuel to buy now.
And the queue will disappear soon now. Because myself, I just bought my own for my motor now.
We just hope for the best for Nigeria.
Lagosians expect the queues to finally disappear in the days ahead. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
It is safe to say that Nigeria has moved from childhood to adulthood in its democratic journey, and Nigerian women have been considered worthy allies to their